welcome to North Georgia Now today, y'all see this color I have on? It is in honor of the true blue American spirit. It is in honor of the soldiers who have fought and are continuing to fight every single day for our freedom and for the freedom of the country, the freedom of the world. It is an amazing day. We can honor the US of A with bringing on a soldier who is active duty, still actually deployed to Afghanistan, but we happen to have him in the studio. We're very excited about this. Last week we had Tim McDonald here, a sailor who is active duty. It's very good for me to be able to bring you the kind of stories that matter to me. This story really, really matters to me. Now, when my co-host showed up today dressed like me, I was very excited. I'm telling y'all, I know you think we plan these things. I promise you, I had on a different outfit this morning. I had on a blue jean skirt and a casual red shirt with firecrackers on it. And I thought, that's not nice enough for today. So I ran in one of my closets and I changed clothes. And I walked in and my co-host happens to have on our signature colors. Now we've chosen a program for a rerun tomorrow that shows our signature colors like you've never seen them before. It shows the motorhome. This weekend, I am going to be out and about. I'm going to be whipping here, whipping there, whipping here. I'm not going to be whipping anywhere. My driver, Mr. Freddie Brackett's going to be whipping me everywhere.
I was going to say, he won't be whipping
He is going to be whipping me up and down the road. We have got a lot going on. So we chose the program, and until 11 o'clock last night, I had a different program picked. I decided we really, really need for y'all to come out and see us. So when you see this big motorhome with our faces on it, you know your face is on there.
Oh, no.
With your hair. So.
Yeah, I had more, probably when you took the picture, yeah.
Well, we have been on 19 months now. We have both changed a little bit.
You know, my wife actually bought me a bottle. It's bothering her so bad.
That you're losing your hair?
Yeah, she went and bought me a bottle of this shampoo, the thickening kind. I thought, okay, I'll do whatever, but you ain't buying me no toothpaste.
Well, I love you whether you got big hair or not. You know, I had bigger hair when we started, and my hair is a little bit calmed down now because I'm jet skiing now and swimming again. And so I don't need all that big poofy 70s hair, although I love my big poofy 70s hair. Don't care what anybody says. There you go. And I will always have the gray because that darkening my hair is intimidating to me. If you're old and you got dyed hair, you look old with dyed hair. So mine's going to be just like
Well, you know, I'm so used to it. I wouldn't even notice you.
I would look strange.
I wouldn't even know you if you colored your hair.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Well, we have to say tomorrow is our co-host Charlene's birthday. And we and some other folks are going to show up to wish her a happy birthday tomorrow.
I thought this was a surprise.
No, she knows we're going to do it.
Not anymore.
She knows we're going to do it, but about noon tomorrow, we're going to show up at the Blue Star. So if you'd like to come and help us wish her a happy birthday, we're not going to tell you what number, but we'll tell you it's over the big 40.
60 something, I think.
No, it is not.
She's not that old?
She's going to choke you.
That's Charles's. I'm sorry, that's Charles's age.
Now, I got the sweetest note from Courtney, her baby daughter, yesterday because I put something on Facebook last night. It's so much fun to work with Charlene. She is so...
She's the bubbly one.
She is. I named her perfectly. She is bubbly. And when things start to get her down and the devil comes in the door, she has got this big foot. I think she wears a 10. She kicks the devil out the door. She has this capability and this ability to just kick the devil out the door, and I love that about her.
I've always told her, I said, whenever you start doing something good, he's going to show up. So
yes.
Might as well be ready.
And today I was listening to a song on the way to work. I have a CD in my car and it says Cherie Mix, and it's just all my favorite music. My secretary put it together for me. And it was Vestal Goodman singing, I Wouldn't Take Anything for My Journey Now.
Good song.
Oh, what an awesome song.
That kind of matches up with your life right now, doesn't it?
It does. It does. My journey. And I looked around last night, and I'm telling you.
That could be your theme song.
If life gets any better, I think I will bust a gut. It cannot get any better. I can't even imagine being any happier than this. I don't believe I could take it.
You might as well buy you some Depends, because if you're going to bust a gut, you're going to need them.
You know what somebody told me yesterday? They said, is there any way to get that grin off your face? I said, I don't think so. I don't think so.
You're just the happiest girl in the whole USA.
I am, and I wake up to that every single morning. Miss Donna Fargo is on my cell phone, and she wakes me up this morning. It took her 4 tries to get me up because this week has been I'm a little tired.
Well, we need a song, "The Happiest Boy in the Whole USA," because that's me.
That's you.
It is.
That's right. That's right. Our life is so good, and we thank you for being a part of that. Now, we want to welcome you to come and be a part of visiting with us this weekend. Tonight, we will start at Blackberry Ridge Eatery. You can't come. We should have
We had quartet practice.
quartet practice. But Angela and I are going to be there with part of the crew who helps me on the road. Now, when we're on the road, it takes Jen Roberts plays trivia with you. We're going to have some CDs and some DVDs there tonight. We're just going to go hang out at the Blackberry Ridge Eatery and have dinner. It was kind of scheduled because we're taking the motorhome to Fannin anyway for the parade this weekend. We will be at the Hoist House tomorrow afternoon. We will be in the parade in Fannin Saturday morning. We will be at the pancake breakfast at Epworth on Saturday morning. And we will be back for the picnic that afternoon. And then Sunday, we have a couple of things going on with my child, 17-year-old, who's, all of a sudden now he looked around. Somebody asked him one day, they said, "Man, you must eat good at your house." And he said, "Excuse me?" And they said, "Well, your mom is a great cook." And he said, "My mom only cooks when the camera's rolling."
That's true.
That made me feel so bad.
But it's true.
Now, it was. For the last 19 months, I literally have been eating out. Whole new ballgame at my house now. I'm a cooking maniac. I've been cooking. I've been making biscuits and gravy every day, and I make some pretty good biscuits.
So,
me and
so says
White
Scotty
Lily,
Mayfield, yeah.
Scotty Mayfield says I make awesome biscuits. But I am back home more because Nick finally said something. He said, "My mom is never home," and that worried me. And he said, "In a year or so, I'll be gone." And I'm thinking, "Oh, no, you won't. You're not going anywhere." But I did. I've looked at me differently now, and I'm a little more grounded. I'm at home more. I'm cooking more. I'm trying to go back to Betty Crocker and Susie Homemaker.
Well, it tears your heart out when your son says that, doesn't
When he said that, I felt so bad because somebody had seen him on Heart of the Home. And he was standing behind Brett Miller eating, and they made a comment and said, "Man, you must really eat good at your house." And he looked at him and said, "Are you kidding me?"
He has pizza delivered.
The only time my mom cooks, the camera's rolling, and I felt bad. So.
Well, he told me the same thing a couple of months ago at a
He
restaurant.
did.
Yeah,
he
I didn't
did.
tell you about it.
He eats out all the time, and he tells people that. So, but now he is eating at home, and this week I've cooked a whole lot of stuff.
So his favorite thing for dinner is reservations?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what I made this week. I made a squash casserole using David White's squash. It was so good. It was so, and yesterday our director and his secretary came up from Atlanta and brought us some shows that you're going to actually see one of them this weekend. It was filmed at Town and Country here in Fannin County. And you're going to see today the bloopers. Now, we normally don't goof up as bad as this one goofed up.
Huh?
It was
We have
hysterical.
bloopers every day.
Did you see when I mean on Heart of the Home. Did you see when I called Hans a girl?
That's that one.
I did. I don't know where my brain was, but I said that, and then I just kept rolling, and I'm like, I didn't even realize I said it. So that was pretty bad. But you're going to see some bloopers with the Diplomats. They had a problem getting through a song. Several times they had a problem getting through this song. So, but the finished product on Saturday night and on Sunday night, you will see the new Heart of the Home that was filmed at Town and Country, and we thank them so very, very much for opening their doors to us. We will be back there in September. Then next week, you will see the number 2 program we shot that day. One of them showed Hans receiving a resolution from the state of Georgia. That was a very, very big part of that program. And then the next one shows people from the Fannin County community bringing me recipes and bringing me their product, and we shared their product. One of them, Eddie, that chicken salad is to die for. And Debbie, that peanut pie oh my goodness, it's a peanut butter pie, and it was awesome. So we have those programs, and I actually brought a copy to take to Town and Country and to give Debbie and her family, because we talked about her brother. Tim is a sailor, I'm getting it right today. He's a sailor serving in Baghdad.
Anchors away, my boy.
Absolutely. You know what I wondered about Baghdad? Where do they anchor anything in Baghdad? Do they have the big water? I don't think so. Do they have the big oil wells? I think they do. And if you've noticed the price of fuel lately, it stinks. It is going up again. Now, when it was at $1.85, doable, livable situation for almost everybody. Been nice, we've been $1.15, but it wasn't, it isn't ever going to be again. Why are they jacking it up? Are they taking advantage of us because of the holidays?
Because they can.
Because they can, exactly.
That's always the answer.
Exactly, because they can.
Hey, an old friend of yours saw me at the dentist office the other day and said, "Tell you hello, Bill
Who?
Bill Silvers."
Bill Silvers.
And his dear
yes,
wife.
Yes, sweet,
They
sweet,
watch the
sweet.
show every day.
Every day. Hey, y'all, how you doing?
And hello to Mr. and Mrs. Sonderling, who watch the show every day. Customers of mine.
It is amazing. I was sitting in the beauty shop the other day, and a lady who moved up from, I believe she said Mableton, she said, "Oh, you do get your hair done here?" And I said, 5 days a week, I do get my hair done here. You know?
I've never known anybody.
I said, how do people not think I do go to the beauty
You know
shop
you're a star when you get your hair done 5 days a week.
Well, and
in the same week.
You know, when your beautician shows up on Sunday night about 8
Yeah.
o'clock, you have got it made.
You've
I've
got
got it made.
You've got some pull, as they call it.
I've got it made. And let me tell you something that's going on Sunday between 12:30 and 2 at the First Baptist Church in Jasper. There's going to be a birthday reception for George McLaughlin's 90th birthday. 90 years old. He looks just as good as he did 88 years ago. He is a hottie. He's one of those guys, when he comes up to you, you just want to hug him and kiss him. So everybody in Jasper, go by First Baptist, 12:30 to 2 on Sunday and hug and kiss George. He is my buddy. We have been friends a long time.
I'm glad the cameras can't get the back of your head. You've got a big old piece of hair missing right there. They cut your hair. It's this big gap right there. Good thing it's not in the
Now,
front.
his daughter cuts my hair, and you know better than that. You're just wishing you had it on top of your head.
Turn around and show it. No, I don't want gray hair. Turn around and show it to
No,
him.
we're not going to. We do need to get
Now she's worried.
some on top of your head.
Well, I don't want gray hair yet, so.
No, and I do have gray hair. Well,
Yeah.
we encourage each and
Maybe
every
it
one
wouldn't
of you,
mix.
find something this weekend that makes you feel good. Find something to do. Don't have to spend any money at all. McKaysville has got the free fireworks on Friday night. They have the block party from the First Baptist of McKaysville on Friday night. On
There's something for everybody.
Saturday, we've got parades. Every single community we serve, parades. Every single community will be, somebody from ETC will be in all of them.
If somebody greasing the pole where we can go up and get the dollar off the top,
I don't
or
know,
the
but
pig where you
next
can grease the
year-
pig.
Next year, after my little jet skiing escapade last Friday, next year, I will let them dunk me, do whatever they want to raise money. If y'all will promise me you'll raise $10,000.
Well, I'll be there for
and
that.
let me donate it to my favorite charity. If you will, I will go in a dunking tank. I'll do whatever. Next year, we need to plan this because I think I have the power to make some money. What do you think?
Well, you do.
I
You
think
do.
we could do that. I think
You
we
do.
could do it, and I would love to be a part of giving back. I think that's the most important thing we do. And today we're going to share some photos from the 4th of July in Epworth. It opens with a photo of Carl Ed Abernathy, my boyfriend, my sweetheart. I love this man to death. I love his wife, Laura, my wife-in-law.
Wife-in-law.
This is,
That's a new one.
he has attended the event in Epworth for 80, I believe they said 86 years.
Yeah, I saw that picture he had of the day in a dress.
This is him. The photos we're going to show you
Oh, that was
right
his
now
mother, I
will
guess.
show you the kind of things that will be going on in your communities this weekend. Please get out, find something to do, hang out with your friends, do something positive. And, if you don't have family around, go by the nursing home and visit with some folks.
Did you see on the news where the Sears Tower has got that new catwalk up there on the top on the 103rd floor?
No, thank you. That's not a walk I want to take.
It's glass.
Not for a cat or anything
Well,
else.
what's neat about it is it goes out about 4 feet. It's total glass on the bottom. You can step out on it and look down.
Oh, I'm about to get nauseated.
Yeah, and it's,
and
I don't know if I'd want to do that.
No. Well, talking about Sears. Sears is a big part of the American history. Granny Harris bought a pair of shoes at Sears catalog. And it's kind of like, reminds me of Loretta, where you didn't used to go shop, you ordered in and it came in Sears and Roebuck. She ordered a pair of shoes and she wore them for, I think it was 40 years. I mean, something absolutely ridiculous, just unheard of ridiculous. And she wore a size 5 shoe, little tiny shoes. She wore them all these years. Then she had the nerve to write Sears in Chicago and tell them that she was not happy with the product because they did not last as long as she thought they should. Those shoes are on display there now. They sent her a coupon and said, you can have any kind of pair of shoes you want, lady. Nobody could ever come up with this story again. Sears was a big part of American history. What's happened to Sears?
Well, I wonder if they were around during the old days, because the children of Israel, they went through the desert for 40 years, wore the same clothes that everybody wore out. I wonder if they was wearing clothes from Sears.
Sears, Roebuck and Company.
Never know.
did. They did.
Might be a part of the Hebrew heritage
They
too.
did.
You know?
Well, one day, Sears has the Craftsman tools, lifetime warranty.
Good
don't
stuff.
Don't we all hope that Sears will be here forever?
Well, we hope so.
It's very
I mean,
scary
we hope
because
so.
we have seen companies go under that we never thought about.
Yeah.
Never thought about. Including your favorite Government Motors,
Yeah, Government Motors.
But I see GM coming back stronger than ever. I see a reorganization plan. I think finally they have said, oops, somebody's responsible for something. And I really and truly, I drive GM products. I will always, as long as Deb Lawson's alive, and maybe as long as Al and Allie and the rest of them kids are alive, maybe I'll always drive a GM product. But I always have. This weekend, I will be in a Ford product, and I'm very proud to be featuring a Ronnie Thompson vehicle in the parade this weekend. Love that Ford truck, and if I had really good borrowing power from Ford, I'd probably own one. I love that Ford truck.
That Sears catalog reminds me of a story. You remember the preacher came by to see the new lady who was visiting the church, and he walked in and sat down at the living room, and the mother said to the little girl, said, "Honey, go get my favorite blessed book."
Oh, I remember that.
She's supposed to bring the Bible, but she goes in and gets the Sears catalog, brings it out. So.
I remember. Well, Sears is a big part of America's
You having
history.
trouble too? I
am.
can't
It
keep
won't
mine
stay
in
my ear
today. Oh well.
I'm going to find me a new earpiece, and I'm going to hot glue it to my ear. All right, we've got that thing back in there again now. We're going to go now to photos of the 4th of July celebrations in your community. I encourage you to find something to do. So much going on. When we come back from these photos, you're going to meet a man who's just happy to be here at all. He is out of the heat in Afghanistan, out of the heat in Baghdad, out of the heat, out of the fighting. He is home for a short time, and I'd say very happy to be on American soil. We'll be back in just a minute. Y'all ready? You can.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
We are back. We are joined by the man who is responsible for us wearing blue today. You're wearing red and blue. I'm wearing blue. Sergeant, tell me what it's like to be home on American soil again.
Great.
You've been here about a week.
About a week.
About a week. Now you spent some time in Gatlinburg. R&R. You truly did some R&R.
Yes, ma'am. Played
With your family?
With the family. Played some golf. Did a lot of swimming. I have 3 girls, 9, 8, and 6. So we do a lot of time at the swimming
They
pool.
try to sell you some timeshares up there.
No,
You gotta
no, I
get
stayed away from them.
Yeah. Now you're stationed in Afghanistan.
Yes, ma'am.
Your group lost how many soldiers in the last 10 days?
Since April, June the 4th, we've lost 4 killed in action.
One was from Dalton, is that right?
One was from Cave Springs, one was from Gainesville, one was from Calhoun,
Okay.
and one was from McDonough.
Now, you said one of those happened to be one of your best friends.
Yes, ma'am. The one from McDonough.
What was that like?
Well, it was pretty shocking. We were actually out on patrol ourselves, and found out, and we got the call to come back in. Everybody get back to the base, you know. And
Was it an explosive device?
yes, ma'am. And so we got back to the base, and they wouldn't tell anybody. But me being one of the section leaders, they went ahead and told me, but we didn't tell any of the men because he and I are 2 of the older guys in the platoon, and we've had some experience. We were both in Desert Storm together. So they went on ahead and told me, but we didn't tell the younger men until we got back to the base, and it's just like losing their brother.
Yeah.
I mean, we were that close with each other, and it's kind of different being in the Georgia National Guard than being in the regular military, because these are people your kids go to school together,
Right.
and you know them outside of the military, so it's very difficult.
Well, yesterday I got a call from Ross Cavett. This is funny. Ross and I have been friends a long, long time, and I'm cooking dinner, and hey. So we're talking. Now, in order to hold a cell phone that doesn't have a Bluetooth on it, I'm trying to hold a cell phone, and I'm making 2 different kinds of sandwiches. And Ross is talking, and he just wanted to talk, and he was telling me he'd been to the funeral over in, I believe it was Calhoun.
Yes, ma'am. First Sergeant Blair.
Now, what happened to him?
I'm a little fuzzy on the details because I was actually already in process of coming back over
Okay.
here the day he was killed. But I just actually picked the paper up this morning and read about it. And it stated that he was apparently in a firefight and actually got off several rounds before he was hit.
Wow. Well, Ross said, I said, why were you at the funeral? Were you covering it? He said, I'm actually National Guard. And that surprised me. I don't know. I've known him for years and years and years, and I didn't know that about him. But we were talking, and I'm holding the phone, and I've made a big pot of vegetable beef soup, and I'm making 2 different kinds of sandwiches, grilled cheese and toasted cheese. Burned both of them. Burned both of them. And I said, oh, Ross, hold on a minute. I'm burning dinner. And he said, oh, let me let you go. I said, no, that's okay. It's only grilled cheese sandwiches. He said, you burned a grilled cheese sandwich? I said, I burned the toasted cheese and the grilled cheese. So, but it is back to normal here. You know, he went to a funeral yesterday. Somebody that he had hoped he wouldn't have to go to a funeral, local boy. He's in the National Guard, and then he's right back to work reporting every day on the bad things around Atlanta. I asked him, I said, is it tough to handle the bad news every day? And he said, some days it really is. Some days it really is.
It is, and it's a lot of feelings because, like I say, you're really close. Like you said, your friend was in the National Guard and you never even knew
Never
it.
knew it. I don't know why we've never had that conversation.
You know, this guy goes away. You know, just pick any one of the guys in the 48th Infantry that are deployed. They go away for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, one day you're at their funeral, they're gone, never coming home. And it is. It's really difficult to deal with. When I was on active duty in the Marines, it was a little, I don't really want to say easier actually, but you were gone the whole time. You weren't living in the community. And in the National
you
Guard,
didn't
you
have those
just
relationships.
exactly you just get pulled out of the community, put into service, and put back into the community, and it makes it very, very unusual. And a lot of the guys, the unit, and I have the perspective of both active duty and National Guard. a lot of the National Guard units are a lot closer. There's a lot more unit cohesiveness because of those relationships. So these deaths really do impact. And
You know, last year we had a soldier on here he and his brother were both serving in Iraq. And that's very unusual, isn't it?
Sort of. When I was in Desert Storm, my older brother, Rodney Thurman, he's a teacher here at Gilmer High. We were both in Desert Storm together. He was a Marine out on one of the amphibious ships, and I was a Marine in the desert. And
Did your paths ever cross?
We actually met in Spain one time.
Isn't that something?
I was walking down the street and heard somebody hollering my name, and it was him on the other side of the street. We didn't know each other was going to be there. We just
Small
happened
world.
to pass
Oh, my
by
goodness.
each other. And my cousin, Ed and Linda Lawrence, Linda Teague Lawrence, her son, Sean Elliott, I was sitting right before I came on leave in a computer lab just checking on my Facebook and my email. And this man leans over and says, "Do you have an ink pen I can borrow?" Now, she had told my mom, Patsy, about, "Look for him, he's over there." And I handed him the pen, he used it, he gave it back. About 10 minutes later, he got ready to get up, and I happened to catch his name tag, and I said, "Wait a minute." And I said, "You're my second cousin."
That is so
That was in the
funny.
middle of Afghanistan.
Wow.
So it's not as unusual as you would think, but I think they do try to limit brothers actually being in the same exact unit, you know.
Now, how many soldiers and sailors combination are serving in Afghanistan today?
That's a good one. There is a push going on. The
Can't
number,
tell you.
Can you give me a rough estimate?
30,000.
30,000. Okay. I would have figured
And
more.
I'm
right
just
now.
telling you what I've read out of the newspaper. So this
Okay.
is not anything that we have to censor. It's probably
Okay.
too late.
What's the,
But it's supposed to, according to what I read in the newspaper this morning, we're right around 30,000. Supposed to go up to I think 70 or so. But
Now, does that mean more National Guard will be deployed? Is that part of the process? Already active National Guard will be.
yes, ma'am.
Is that where we're going to come from?
The guard goes on a rotational basis. For example, 3 years ago in May of '06, I came home from Iraq. 3 years later, we're in Afghanistan. So, and it's also based on the operational needs of the military. For example, we're a reconnaissance unit, so they would need that more than say a different type of unit. Then they would pull that unit a little early and maybe deploy the other one a little later. It's all just based on situational needs.
what's the topography like there where you're at?
The base I'm on is called Camp Black Horse, and it's about 7,000 feet above sea level, 7,500.
Does that mean you get a headache and ears pop?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
But the topography goes all the way down to 1,500 feet above sea level to over 20,000. And I was actually thinking about that on the way over here, looking at the mountains over there around Dalton, Chatsworth, right through there. Just imagine those mountains about 2,000 feet higher without a single tree on them. Just
Really?
dirt, rock, sand. There's
No vegetation at all?
very, very little. It's
What's the temperature there?
85, 90, but when you get down to the lower elevations, it gets up to the 120s, 130s, and it's just,
And not a shade tree around to get under?
no ma'am,
Oh, my goodness.
no ma'am, all human-made.
Now, where's all the
shades.
local people living? Are they down in the valleys there?
Just basically all over. They build straight up the side of the mountains. Basically where they can.
Are the houses kind of shabby looking that most of them live in?
A lot of them, yeah, but they have some nice stuff going up over there. That's I think to build a house that would cost about $1 million here costs about 80,000 there.
Wow. I'm still not moving. I'm still not leaving Fannin County. I'm still not leaving Pickens County. I'm still not leaving Gilbert County.
Afghanistan don't seem appealing
No,
to
it
you?
does not appeal to me.
Real estate might be cheaper.
It might be. There might be a real estate market there. I want to ask you something. What can we, as us and our viewing audience, do for you while you're serving our country?
Well, we've already actually initiated several programs. When Miss Lucy comes on, I'll let her expand on those. But basically, Afghanistan has been not developed as much as the Iraq theater was, as far as soldiers' amenities.
Are you saying your living conditions are much rougher than Iraq?
And on some bases, yes, ma'am. On some, no. Overall, yes, there was. The availability of stuff, just simply because there's not as much travel as there was in Iraq. So things like toothbrushes, toothpaste, stuff like that is just sometimes can be incredibly hard to find.
Wow.
I mean, usually you can get onto a run that's going to some other base and get something, but it's not guaranteed. But you do. I mean, a tube of toothpaste will last you a long time. But it's more the comfort things than the necessities, I think. Once you get past, you got the basic stuff to shave and shower with, then things that you miss like potato chips or, just stuff like that, they're hard to get.
Now, tell me a normal day. If you wake up, I know what I have for breakfast every morning, Cheerios. Is that the breakfast of champions? No, that's Wheaties. What's a day like? Tell me a day in your life from breakfast to dinner. What do you do and what do you expect to have as a meal?
Our days are pretty, well, I was going to say they're pretty unusual. I guess everybody's day over there is pretty unusual.
I'd say so.
But we usually have pretty decent breakfast. With the mission that my team is doing, we're fortunate that we have a nice chow hall that we can use. During the day, we'll lots of times do a mission. Most of our missions are day missions, and then we'll be back at the chow hall that evening, at the base that evening. Basically, you go out, you get the
for
brief.
lunch, you would do a snack like a granola bar or something in your backpack. Is
Yes,
that pretty
ma'am.
much what
Whatever you
do?
take. We try to avoid the MREs if possible.
I've heard stories about them things. One day, I want a soldier to bring me one that we can open on the air and challenge viewers to try to sustain themselves on these.
They're healthy.
Yeah,
they're
okay.
I guess you could say they're tasty, just maybe not in the way you desire.
So if somebody wanted to send packages with granola bars, toothbrushes, something that would provide you with a snack and some nutrition too.
Yes, ma'am. That would be great.
Toothpaste.
Oddly enough, envelopes are hard to find.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
And
It's
y'all
just
don't pay
strange.
postage, right?
No,
Okay.
ma'am. Not coming from there. We can,
Okay.
if we mail a package, we have to pay postage, but all letter mail is free.
Okay. So if folks wanted to send you a large box of envelopes, that would be great.
Yes, ma'am. Envelopes, writing paper, all that stuff's hard to get.
Good, good.
We give a lot of that stuff out to the children, which is once again something that Miss Lucy and I'll get into. But basically, just any of the quote unquote nice things in life, comfort items, or magazines are fantastic. They're like gold.
Oh, wow.
So if you got a big stack of old magazines,
Oh, I'm so ashamed. I just threw away a
Send 'em.
ton, but I don't know that you'd want to read Southern Living.
you'd be surprised.
You,
If it's from America,
You'd
they
be
want to read it.
surprised.
Yeah.
I was cleaning. This is a funny statement to make because you've been in my office. I was throwing out some stuff the other day, and I threw away this stack of magazines because I thought, it was last summer's, and I had a huge stack. And I threw them in the trash.
I just had an idea. Why don't you do a USO tour over there like the movie stars do? And
Actually, we talked about doing that.
they might want to see
We-
Cherie Martin
we
over
actually
there.
did
had,
talk about doing that and going there and cooking.
Toby Keith was over
yeah.
not long ago.
Yeah, we
About 6
talked about
weeks
it, and you
ago.
know what I said about it? I would love to do it. I would love to be there. I would love to give the support. I work Monday through Friday. I don't miss work. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I'm here Monday through Friday. I don't take days off, and I don't miss work.
I'll do your show for a week. Why don't you go over
I
there?
don't want to leave this. This is my job.
I know, but you might enjoy a USO tour. They might want to see the big Cherie Martin over there,
I
you
might
know.
enjoy that, and I might be intimidated a little bit, and I'm going to admit that.
It's just a long air flight, that's all.
Man, I don't do that well. Now we're going to bring Miss Lucy on. She
Yes,
was
ma'am.
instrumental in me meeting you. We did a Beanie Baby Brigade, which gave you hundreds of Beanie Babies. Have you distributed a lot of them?
They're all gone.
They're all gone.
Yes, ma'am.
We thought you'd never get rid of all those Beanie Babies. Now,
Oh, they-
did the children who received those give you a smile? Was that your payback?
It was, well, we didn't give them out for the longest time because we move in the up armored Humvees. We have a lot of concern about children running out into the road in front of the vehicles or something, or between them. And so we were really concerned about how we were going to be able to give these out until we went on a foot patrol. When you go on a foot patrol, you've only got a limited amount of room, you know. And so we did a couple of patrols, and we said, well, you know what, we'll start putting them in the rear truck, and he can throw them out since all the other trucks will be gone past.
Right.
And we can do that. And so we started going through Kabul and throwing them out to the children. And it just seems to me like, and maybe it's just the difference between Iraq and Afghanistan, but it just seemed to me like they had never seen one before. They some of them, you throw it down, they would just look at it. And then all of a sudden they'd realize what it was, and they would take off running.
It's a bomb. I mean, I may have thought, you know.
No, they would run up to grab it,
Oh, they would?
smiling. Yeah, or they'd look at the parents and ask permission to go get it. And once they picked it up, oh yeah, it was on then. They
Toy, yeah.
they loved it then, and we give out a lot of writing stuff, papers and pencils and pens. They don't have any of that. They love it.
Well, right now we've got a problem with the mic. So that means we're going to go to something hysterical. We're going to some bloopers. These bloopers are on us, about us, and we're sharing us at our absolute worst with you. So right now we're going to take a break and go to the bloopers. When we come back, we're bringing Miss Lucy Harris on board.
Kind of girl.
Start over.
I was gonna roll with that. I thought it was pretty good.
Holy cow! Did
I was gonna keep rolling with it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought that was great.
Okay, let's do that again. I tell you where my mind's at today. It's in the gutter. Okay.
You know.
Oh, gosh. Welcome back to Heart of the Home.
All right. Are you just gonna hit it or just keep it? Once I was clothed in the rags of my sin, wretched and poor, lost and lonely within, but with wonderful compassion. Well, let's do that again because I forgot the words.
You heard that day for 200,000 times.
Not lately. Not lately. Okay, ready to do it again? What's the word? Okay, I'll get it this time. All right, go ahead, hit it. Once I was clothed in the... I'm just forgetting. Rags of my sin. Start again. Sorry, Freddie.
I'm gonna step over this way.
Here we go.
That's all right, Wazer.
Ready?
Once I was clothed in the rags of my sin, wretched and poor, lost and lonely within, but with wondrous compassion, the King of all kings, in mercy and love, took me under his wing.
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
I was trying my best not to
Well, I think this one's pretty well shot. Y'all know she'll be coming. All right, she'll be coming. Give me a C.
trying not to laugh.
Here's a C. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain. She's playing C. I know that one.
I tried my best not to laugh at him, but I couldn't do it.
We do this for a living,
I
folks.
was trying my best. That definitely. No, you don't want to copy that.
Clifford, go with it one more time.
Oh,
What are we singing?
Say this.
I think we need to do something else.
yeah. Go ahead.
That's a dude.
Oh,
Y'all be quiet.
yes.
All right, start again.
Dude, you ready?
What key was that in? I don't normally sing with the Diplomats. I'm just filling in just for today.
Flyboard in my mouth.
Don't you take that picture.
Oh, that's funny stuff there.
Go with it, Joe.
I don't know about
I
this.
think we need change.
1, 2, 3.
She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. It ain't gonna go. Y'all sing with me. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be coming around mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes.
White horses.
She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. Come on. She'll be riding 6 white horses. Riding 6 white horses. She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. That's it.
Let's say thank you, Lord, for you.
Oh,
Yeah, that was just to make my mouth work. We're not going to do that song.
Do it. Do the E flat. Huh? Do the E flat. No, rock tempo there. Okay. Just to do the same intro. Yeah, ready? 1, 2, ready?
We're back. Now we are joined by the mother of Gilmer County's right to bear arms, Miss Lucy Harris. You
All right.
are. You
I'll
keep
take
us-
that.
You keep us grounded. You keep us focused. You send out the most positive emails. You keep us in touch with him. That was the big thing. You knew exactly when things were going on. You knew when he was leaving. You knew when he was coming. You were instrumental in getting the Beanie Babies going. Now we have to encourage people to work on some projects that you have going. Tell me what's going on. You talked about pads and pencils for children.
Right.
You being a teacher, that's very important, isn't it?
It is. I really feel like when Noah was in Iraq, he said the kids there knew they were getting behind. And it's the same thing in Afghanistan. The children, they know they have limited media, but they know what's going on in the world and they want to catch up. And I believe that the vast majority of them, even though sometimes it looks scary and dark, would rather have a pencil and paper and a Beanie Baby than become terrorists. And we have to remember that. And I'm just so grateful that Jim is here today. I'm so excited. I've just kind of been in tears on and off because everybody in LJ is so happy that he is home and that our Georgia Mountain Boys, and we want to talk about the Georgia Mountain Boys that are with you, right?
We
and
do,
make
because
sure.
you told us during the break that there are quite a few soldiers from Gilmer County there.
Quite a few, yes, ma'am. Lonnie Teal, First Sergeant Teal, he's with the Bravo Troop. Sean Elliott, my cousin. The post office.
The mice.
Mize
all
boy, the Mize
Uh-huh.
crew.
Yes.
He's got his own team in place over there.
Wow.
And
Yeah, when you were talking about brothers, I was like, don't forget the mice. It's
fathers
because,
and sons.
yeah.
Wow.
several, and if I missed somebody, forgive me. But there's
Raymond
several.
Stewart in
Raymond
Jasper
Stewart from
is right.
Jasper. Chris Eberhart from Jasper.
Rodney Bettis.
Rodney Bettis, one of my
He's a
cohorts.
yeah,
He's in my
yeah,
platoon.
yeah.
We call him Bull. That's short for what he's usually full of. But there's several, and as I remember them, just I get so used to seeing them every day. It doesn't. All of us are from here. I mean, it is like
Ashley,
we're
the medic's from North Georgia College, right?
Ashley Williams goes to school over at North Georgia.
Is that a lady?
That's our medic.
Okay.
There's no
It's a guy,
females
no
there.
female.
No females
yeah.
in your group. Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
And we have David Evans. He goes to school over at North Georgia. He's with the 3rd Platoon in my troop. Just, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Major Jenrette, he was from Gainesville. First Sergeant Blair was from Calhoun. Just North Georgia boys, all.
Right.
And we have a few from South Georgia that drive all the way up just to be in the cavalry troop because they want
Wow.
to be the cav. But just from all over North Georgia, Gainesville. I mean, drive from Gainesville to Calhoun or Rome just to drill for a weekend. That takes a lot of dedication. That's,
It does.
and a lot of men do it. And they're just walking around over there. It's just like taking a pick out of people from back here and putting them on a base over there. I got my best friends right there, you know.
Isn't that something?
Is it very important to keep a good sense of humor over there too?
Extremely.
Being in what y'all are having to
Extremely.
do. Yeah.
Well, we need to tell him the whole jet skiing incident before he goes back to Afghanistan. And you can share this incident. We'll tell you the whole truth, the absolute truth, and nothing but the truth. And when you share it with your soldiers, they won't need anything else funny. They can last the whole war on
Shirley
this
won't
story.
tell me the truth on this.
I think we need like a DVD of it.
Well, we
Because
have
the
said,
guys like DVDs.
yeah,
I
if we
think
could
should.
recreate this jet skiing incident, y'all just don't know. But it does take laughter, and laughter is a great medicine, isn't it?
It's a huge part of the military. It really is. A lot of it, of course, is a little not fit for this
It's not PG
audience.
rated. Yeah.
No.
So,
We've
but
been sending DVDs, and Rick picked out a lot of the DVDs. I kept saying, I don't want to put those in the box, and he said, honey,
They
you
need
have
this.
to understand, you know, they want to see some American humor, you know.
And it's but you have I mean, we got shot at with a flare one day, and it went by, and we're just like, well, something you don't have happen to you all the time. And just unusual things. You just very dry, sometimes very dry humor, but it helps relieve a lot of the tension, a lot of the hard moments, because there are a lot of extremely unusual moments you find yourself in with a whole lot on the line.
Tell me the age group you're in. You said you were one of the oldest.
Yes, ma'am. We have, you have 2 or 3 distinct groups, just in my troop, Alpha Troop, for example. You have the older group, which is the Desert Storm veterans, the people who, if they'd stayed on active duty, would be hitting first sergeant, sergeant major, and retiring after 20 to 30 years of service.
And you know, that's a great word. It is retiring after service. They are serving our country.
Yes, ma'am.
It is not just a job, is it?
No, ma'am. It's a calling. It's a true calling. And then you have the group that went with us to Iraq. They're 30, 32-ish in that area, kind of in between. They've been in about 10 to 12 years, and they have combat experience. A couple of them, some of them have a couple of different theaters under their belt. And then you have the kids that, quote,
That's the correct
unquote,
word, they're kids. They're
when
just
we,
kids.
oh yes ma'am, there's one in my platoon that wasn't born until after I'd been in the Marine Corps for 6 months.
Right.
Wow.
And, but it's, they, I guess, got excited when we marched home from Iraq and joined, and now I guess they're probably wondering what they did, so.
Don't we all think that 9/11 had a lot to do with the wonderful attitude of the military today? So many people signed up, you know that firsthand. 9/11 made a big difference in a lot of lives, and it was kind of a wake-up call for all of us that could happen on American soil again, and we understand that more than ever. I don't know anything about, I've never seen the Pentagon, but I've seen the photos. And you know, that is like our place that everything runs America, and they bombed the Pentagon.
Right.
You know, so do you see soldiers who are now in there 12 years later, 10 years later, who are saying, I'm here because of 9/11?
Sure. Sure, that group that's been in 10 or 12 years, that's how they got there.
It's a tipping point.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of people in the world just have been awakened by people like Jim, who are willing to become a part of the voluntary military
Right.
and really become excellent soldiers and stand up for our country. You know, we need to remember them every single day. And I'm just so grateful that you guys are dressed in red, white, and blue, and that we remember. And
We do remember.
This morning, when I drove in, I saw Jim's name on a marquee flashing,
Oh,
and I
wow.
just, you know, I'm just so grateful to our
Well,
whole community.
It started, and this is, I've got two brothers, Rodney Thurman and Jeff Thurman. They're both history teachers at the high school. I'm sure y'all probably have heard of them. Jeff's the baseball coach. Rodney's the chess team manager. So history is kind of a deal between us boys. But if you look back in your history, you go back to Vietnam, which I was born in the middle of. And somebody about 2 years ago asked me, they said, well, it was Vietnam veterans. It was Veterans Day function, and they had all the veterans up front, you know, and had some Vietnam veterans come up, and they said thank you. Because obviously I was just back from Iraq. And I said, no, thank you. And he said, what do you mean? I said, you don't get it. I said, I've had people buy me meals. I've
Vietnam
had,
vets got nothing.
And but they laid the groundwork.
Oh, yeah.
What they went through laid the groundwork for this country, I believe, to be as grateful and as it is now because of what they had to go through. They didn't fight one fight, they fought two fights. They fought one over there and one when they got
When
home.
they came home, it was a horrible fight.
And their suffering, I think, brought America back to where, or started us back to where we need to be, which is, it humbled us a little bit when we realized how we had treated them. And so all this outpouring that everybody's doing, even 7, 8 years after 9/11, is I directly relate it to what we did to the Vietnam veterans.
Well, and everybody wants to help too.
Right.
I think we understand how important it is to remember that what our country is about is we all have our differences, and there's some people who don't agree probably with what we're doing, but we are united as a people. And you are our people on the front line, and it, you know,
That's
we
your,
all
that's your
need to
team
remember.
out there.
That's right.
We went
Right
to
or
the
wrong?
USO. Well, we went down to the USO, I guess last fall maybe, and it was an honor. We took a Vietnam vet with us, and he and I worked the door, meeting and greeting and handing out things. And he had on his Vietnam hat, and so many of the young soldiers, 18, 19, 20 years old, came up to him and said thank you. And to me, that was worth $10 million. There's no day you could buy in my life that would be more valuable to me, because I grew up in Vietnam. I lost a dear, dear friend in Vietnam. I remember every single day. I remember the POWs coming home, but to stand by Mike Campbell at the USO and see those young soldiers tell him thank you, man, that was worth it all.
Well, and really, what you said, if somebody doesn't agree with what's going on, they shouldn't take it out on the guys who are just taking orders. They're you just following orders.
Just messengers.
Yeah.
Our elected officials make the policies.
They make the
We're just the
decisions.
instruments of
Right.
that policy.
Right.
And
It starts in
we do
Washington.
what our elected officials
Yeah.
decide
You
is
are a
best for our country.
professional.
So
Our professional.
If you don't like it, take it out on people in Washington, not on
Right.
these guys.
And
Take
and
it out
you know,
next
that's
time
the
you
thing.
vote.
Right.
Exactly.
Next time you vote.
Exercise your right to vote. Exercise your right to vote.
Please vote.
If you don't vote, you can't gripe. Exercise your right to vote.
Right.
You have to vote. You have to vote your conscience, and that's the one thing I try to do. Now, when you go back, you said you'll be over there till January, February of next year.
That's a rough time frame, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
During that time, what's the weather like there? I mean, we're going into late summer, early fall, and then we have our winter. What are you going into over there? What will you be facing? In January, we'll be here in ice and sleet and snow.
We're gonna have that.
It's
Are
gonna
you?
be cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've heard stories that the soldiers in
It's-
Afghanistan's feet get really, really cold, that they need socks.
30,
They need
40 below.
socks. Yes.
They're going to have hats.
I know. Crystal has been making hats.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
How many
at
hats?
Ronnie Thompson, too. They
Yes.
made up like 100.
That is
far,
so cool.
yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's, and what, like I was saying earlier about the elevation changes, it really depends on where you're at. But you get, I mean, obviously in the lower elevation, it's not going to be that bad, but in some of the higher elevations, I mean, you step outside the tent and there's still mountains just right there next to you that you could drive to in 5 minutes with snow on top of them. And that's in June and July.
Wow.
And so it's just depends on what elevation you're at, but it's going to be cold.
So we need to get some packages together. Maybe
Lots of socks.
Yeah, and if people want to volunteer, I know you taught the girls over at Ronnie Thompson how to make these hats.
Right.
And if folks can knit or darn or do whatever you do to a sock, you know, or go by the bargain barn and buy some socks. Right now, we are going to take a break and go to our sponsors. Our sponsors are Huff Drugs, the Bargain Barn. Who else? Can you tell me?
Papa's Pizza.
Papa's Pizza, that's right, where I would have barbecue chicken pizza. We're going to go to that, and we're going to tell you, y'all have got about 15 more minutes to get your birthdays in, because today we're going to do the drawing. We normally do it on Friday, but guess what? Friday, I'm going to be in Fannin County.
Where's
I'm
the
not going
bucket?
to be here. I got the bucket over here.
You got the bucket.
Happy birthday to Tim Green, 39 years old. Happy birthday to Charles Inslee, don't have a day or year. Justin Heights, 4 years old. Happy birthday to you from his Oma. Oma in German means grandma. Ronnie Laminack from Andrew and Sonia and from me. Happy birthday, Ronnie. I love you. I love having you as a friend. Great guy. And I hope this is right. Lord, some days they get us in trouble on names, don't they, Bill? J.C. Hawkins,
It looks like
3
JC to
years
me.
old. It looks like J.C. Yesterday, Ernest and Betty Gibbs were celebrating their anniversary. They handed me a paper that said Ernest and Debbie Gibbs, and I'm thinking to myself, no,
Ain't right.
that ain't right. But I said it, and it was wrong. So I stand corrected. Can you imagine somebody correcting me?
I can do it, but that's about it.
Yeah, you and one other person is all that can correct me. Right now, we are going to take a break and go to our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to talk to Sergeant again just a little bit more, and then we're going to talk about something new that's happening on July 6th here at ETC. Y'all don't know it, but I've got a new neighbor coming on board. I hear him packing and moving in now. We'll be right
Trading
back.
time.
We're back. Okay, we are back, and we're talking. It just hit me. Now, I speak Southern redneck about as bad as it gets. I do know proper English as I sit by Lucy Harris. I did make good grades in English. I made great grades in literature. But we have a gentleman who's going to come on in a little bit who speaks. He's from Pennsylvania, for goodness sake. You know what that boy talks.
He can't say, hey, y'all.
He can't say hey y'all, and he says he doesn't quite get Talking Rock right yet. I'm gonna have to tell him about Talking Rock. You are in a country where the people speak very, very hard language. Is it very complicated and very hard to learn?
It is. Obviously, anything you can learn with just repetition, you pick up a lot of it. So being around them every day like we are helps us to pick up on a lot of it. But it's very complex language. I wish I could tell you more about sitting next to a teacher. I can't tell you more about it. But it's very pretty language. But it is complicated to learn. We throw a lot of Southern on them. So
That's good. Kiss my grits.
they like to throw it back too. So.
Well, Spanish is very hard to me. I took 2 years of Spanish, and it was very tough. But red shoes, can you say that in Spanish?
Zapatos rojos.
Rojo, yeah. All those syllables to say red shoes. You know, ours seems so simple, but somebody told me, they said English is a very hard language to learn.
It
Yeah,
is.
Spanish
It is.
is a
And
lot easier than English.
That's what they say, yeah.
They have, some of them have picked up on it very, very well. There are a lot of people over there that are fluent in both English and whatever their native language is there.
Do you watch TV in Afghanistan?
Oh, we don't have TV.
Okay.
But DVDs are good.
Yes,
DVDs are good.
DVDs are great.
Well, we're on Heart of the Home Zone in foreign countries, and Afghanistan being one of those. We're on a satellite channel over there called Heavens Network, I think. I need to get it right. But anyway, we're on 3 times a week over there.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
I have laughed about that because I said, can you imagine people from all these, we go from Kenya to Saudi Arabia to Czechoslovakia to Germany. And I said, can you imagine those people listening to us and going, huh?
Kiss my grits.
What did she say?
They translate for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, they don't.
They
No,
don't?
no, because they said 50% of the countries we are aired in speak English.
Oh, they might be they might not be educated, but they're far from stupid.
They know what's going on.
Extremely intelligent people.
Well, we've gotten emails from all these places, and it just blows my mind because I'll look and it'll be like, it might be the Netherlands, it might be Saudi Arabia, it might be, and I asked the directors when we went to this, I said, how are they going to listen to us? And they said they have 50% of the people there have learned English. And I think that's pretty awesome. I you know, could we all learn to speak what they speak? I think it'd be very, very tough.
It would be tough. And that's why I say it's just so amazing to run into so many people that can speak English there. It's just, and it's actually fairly easy to find. I mean, if you find someone that doesn't speak it, it's pretty easy to find someone close by that can translate for you.
See, the world's shrinking.
Yes, it is.
We're all gonna.
Yeah, it really is. And this morning, this is funny that you said that because at 7:30 this morning I was getting ready for work and I was praying. And I said, God, please make the world a more peaceful place, a better place, and bring us together. Because it's not just the peace on the streets of New York City or the peace on the streets of Chicago with the drug wars and the things that are going on. The world peace could possibly happen in my lifetime. It could possibly happen in my lifetime. And I said, I think prayer is one of the most important things we can do for you as a soldier.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that we can be your prayer warriors, and in order to do that, we need to have a kind of a everyday time set aside. Maybe at 7:30 every morning, everybody stop and say a little prayer for the soldiers.
That's funny. That's when I light my candle.
Well,
at
7:30 in the
7:30
morning.
a.m.,
Yeah,
right,
7:30 in the
for
morning. I do a little. I just have my little day. Lord, get me through the day, and I always and I said lately, the peace thing really scares me. We talk about North Korea a lot. It is a very tough time in the world, not just in America. But you know, if we were friends with those guys, maybe oil prices wouldn't be jacked up like they are. But we've got to go to Rich Scott in just a minute. But I wanted you to tell me one thing we talked about off the air. Iraq is ready for us to be out of there. They have learned to handle themselves. Afghanistan is getting very close.
Mm-hmm.
How wonderful is it that soon we may be pulling out of Iraq?
Be good that I don't have to go back over there. That's one.
Are they ready to take over their country?
Yes, ma'am. They have advanced.
Good.
They have, and then the hardest thing is arming and training the military and the police forces, which is essentially our missions over there now, is to give them the police force and the army gives the government credibility because they can enforce what they're putting out. And until they have the ability to enforce what the government's decisions are, then you're never going to have anything. So the training of the police and the armies and equipping them is extremely important. And Iraq has gotten very, very far along, very advanced. And Afghanistan is doing very well. And in my personal opinion, I think they're all doing very well.
Good, good.
So even though we hear the scary things on the news, the actual reality, and I hear from people in Iraq still all the time, is that things are really a lot better than we get to see.
Oh yeah,
I think that's important that we share that today.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
They, the young men and women that are over there are doing these jobs, training these people it's a very important job. It's, and in my opinion, they're doing it very well, and I think the forces in Iraq and Afghanistan, in my opinion, are progressing. That's a better word, progressing very well.
Good. Well, we're going to go to the community calendar, and while we're doing that, we are going to get your address and put it up on the screen. Lucy, if you can go in the control booth and give them his address.
And anybody who has anything that they want to send to Jim, they can just drop it off at Ronnie Thompson.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Beanie Babies, we're almost out.
So for you folks up in Airport who came up with, we had over 600 Beanie Babies you got. We are out of Beanie Babies again. We are ready to keep this going. We're going to take a break and go to the community calendar. When we come back, you're going to get to meet my new neighbor. We're going to keep them on the set, but we're going to bring Rich Scott on too. I'm going to meet my new neighbor. He's going to be my neighbor beginning at 10 a.m. on July the 6th. You will see me, you, and all our other crew, and then all of a sudden Rich Scott will appear. He's going to appear in just a minute, but right now we're going to go to our community calendar, sit back and enjoy some great music that I picked out for you. Y'all can kind of tell the kind of music I like lately.
It's been a long time, you're just as lovely as you used to be. How's your new love? Are you happy? Hope you're doing fine. Just to know it means so much to me. What's that, darling? How am I doing? Guess I'm doing all right, except I can't sleep and I cry all night till dawn. What I'm trying to say is I love you and I miss you, and I'm so sorry that I did you wrong. Look up, darling, let me kiss you, just for old time's sake. Let me hold you in my arms one more time. Thank you, darling, may God bless you, and may each step you take bring you closer to the things you seek to find. Goodbye, darling, gotta go now. Gotta try to find a way to lose his memory of a love so warm and true. And if you should ever find it in your heart to forgive me, come back, darling, I'll be waiting for you. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be. How's your new love? Are you happy? Hope you're doing fine. Just to know it means so to me. What's that, darling? How am I doing? Guess I'm doing all right, except I can't sleep and I cry all night till dawn. What I'm trying to say is I love you and I miss you.
Goodness gracious sakes alive, the neighborhood has gone to the Yankees, but the good Yankee, my buddy Rich Scott, is going to be coming on beginning July 6th at 10 a.m. He will follow us with 1 hour of trading time. Now, you and I have become the best of friends and we hang out together, but I cannot influence your speech. You still speak. You're so proper and you're so with it, but you've got to learn to say talking rock.
Talking rock.
Talking rock. There you go. I knew
I'm sorry.
I could do
It's standard North American English.
I know
I
that.
went to college. I took classes.
I know, and every time I say something stupid, I think about Lucy Harris sitting at home saying, Cherie Martin, what you doing? Rich, it's going to be great to have you here. We're excited because my audience is also your audience. And so this is going to put us together. It's going to work well.
Before I start talking about that, it's an honor to be sitting next to this man right
It
now.
is. It is.
Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to change the neighborhood a little bit by being neighbors. it's always been a lot to ask people who watch your show in the morning to stay around and come back at 11. And you know, people have things to do. They watch the news and they go off and do things, and to come back at 11, I realize it's been a challenge.
Because there's a break in between, and it was kind of not a perfect flow.
So we're hoping that being on immediately after North Georgia Now today, that people will have a tendency to stay around and stay through the whole next hour. And we're going to do things a little differently. Trading time will remain basically the same. You can put your stuff on for free and advertise it online and on the TV show. You can call in, but we're doing a thing called Seller Showcase. And we're inviting people to actually bring their items here to the TV station, large or small. We have an area set up where people can put their items on a table and tell me what it is, and we'll talk about it. If you're shy and you don't want to be on TV yourself, you can just bring your item and I'll talk about it. But we're encouraging people to come and bring their things, and at different parts of the show we'll have people on with their stuff. And if it's too big to fit through the door, we'll take a camera outside and we'll take a look at what you have. And you know, I always say a picture's worth 1,000 words. The ads on our website that have pictures are viewed 3 to 4 times more often than ads that don't. I can only imagine that with video, they'll become among our most popular items. People actually get to see it. It'd be almost like having it in your hand. We have Bob from Mineral Bluff has a lithogravure on the website, and there's no picture. Well, who's going to buy that without being able to see it? But if I put it on TV and show it, I'm sure it will be better.
And you need to tell them if they bring their livestock to the studio, bring their shovel with them.
Please. Any livestock we get, I'm going to keep that outside in the parking lot. You know, there have been so many great things that have been on the website since we've been on. We've been on 6 months now, and we had some llamas from the Riseland Llama Farm here in Alexandria. I thought, you know, it'd be great to have these here and to actually show people, hey, you could buy this llama. And we've had some classic cars and different things, and it's even when you show a snapshot on screen on the computer, it'd be great to actually show the item and be able to look at it closely.
You could actually show the llama's teeth, show he's in good condition.
Exactly. and the interesting thing about this is live TV. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what people are going to say. You never know if the dog is going to bite me. You never know. There are people tell me they watch every day because they never know what's going to happen or what I'm going to say or what I'm going to have. And well, this just steps that up another notch.
It's going to be fun, and I think giving you the edge of that extra time, because some days you'll get down to the last caller and the phone's ringing and you're really pushing it to do it in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I can take a little more time with the callers, and we'll have some other elements to the show, some other things that we'll do. But I'll be able to catch my breath a little more than I do now. Since we've been on since January, our website has had 750,000 page views. And people stop me all the time and tell me what a great service this is and how happy they are that ETC started this, because they're really, I mean, you could put it on Craigslist or eBay, but you get lost in the clutter of all those items from other places. And people are so appreciative of the fact that they have something that's focused on the North Georgia mountains, that's focused on their neighborhood.
Within 2 hours of where they want to go look at it, and that's the most important thing. You have to be able to touch it, see it, feel it before you purchase it.
I made a new promo that'll run on the air next week, and what I did was I went around and I stopped people who had put items on Trading Time, and I had a fellow who sold 3 trucks on Trading Time, and another woman who sold her baby furniture, and a woman who bought a riding lawnmower, and to a person they all said, you know, this is really a great service because anything you need, and it's all within 20 minutes of your house.
Right.
And zero commission.
I don't.
Hey, you give a new meaning to the word flea market. You're the new flea market.
I am Mr. Flea Market. I'm Trader Rich.
Well, yesterday we took the refrigerator from my garage and put it into my kitchen. We took the kitchen refrigerator. It is now sitting in the middle of my living room. Now I have to decide today.
Now that's redneck.
Do I put it on Trading Time? Or do I put it in the garage as a spare? It's a almost new stainless steel, and believe me, Trading Time may get it. It is sitting in the middle of my living room right now. I wanted an ice maker with crushed ice. The one in the garage had that, so I changed it out, and I thought, what will I do with it? trading time. Perfect way to move anything you need to sell.
No, you need to put it out on the front
Front
porch.
porch, that's
Front
where
porch.
everybody else does it.
We laughed about that, and I said, Lord, redneck I am.
In the living room? That's pretty red.
It is sitting in my living room. It's plugged up, though.
But it's stainless steel, so it's
Yeah,
it's a
it was
little
funny.
step
Put a TV
above
on top of it or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Well, it is great to have you coming on as my neighbor. I love you dearly. Thank you
Well,
for all the
keep
things
being
you
my
do
neighbor.
for the
You know,
community meal.
I have to say, I enjoy working with you and going out in public with you. For those of you who've never come to one of these meet and greets, it's an experience.
It is that.
And I'm just along for the ride, folks.
Yeah, and we will say tonight at 5 o'clock, we will be at the Blackberry Ridge Eatery in Fannin County. We're going there to have dinner with quite a few of our friends and just to hang out and to meet and greet you. If you want to come by, Jen Roberts will be there. We're going to play a little bit of trivia. We've got some CDs and DVDs we're going to give away. We're going to give away some of my cookbooks. I'll be autographing cookbooks. We're going to be at the Blackberry Ridge Eatery around 5-ish, 5:15 or so. We'll have the motorhome there. And anytime you see the motorhome, Rich Scott is on the side of it. This weekend in Fannin County, you will see a Ronnie Thompson vehicle with Rich and I in it. Behind us will be the motorhome with Jonathan Barker. On the back of the motorhome, it says the Barker Brothers. This weekend, I will be at the Hoist House. You'll be there with me. We'll be doing a meet and greet there. It is very important to us that we be available to you. And that's the thing you and I touched on from the first day we met. You met me in a meeting here, and then a year later, you were taking pictures of me in a parade.
That's right, at the Copper Basin
At the
Christmas
Copper
Parade.
Basin Parade. And being in that parade, I wish I had someone in my vehicle with a camera to see your reactions to meeting us. I love the comments. I love the, hey, we watch every day. It was very, very important to see you guys really care, and we appreciate that very much.
But I'm still not quite used to the fact that my picture is on the side of a
It
motorhome
is.
going up and down the 4-lane.
It is.
I'm sure
You
we've
know, it's been
caused
400
our
and-
share of accidents with that. I'm sure people have driven off the road.
It's been over 400 miles already doing meet and greets, and
Wow.
we're just, traveling around and to gospel singings, and we're just making ourselves available, and I think that's very important.
Yeah,
Long-
it's
As long as they don't throw tomatoes at you.
No,
nobody's thrown anything at us yet.
No.
When we were at the Town and Country Remote, a couple of people asked to take pictures standing in front of the
In
picture,
front
and
of-
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, we've got some things. Sergeant Wilson, you wanted to do some prayer requests for families.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read those for me, because I don't want to butcher their names?
It's Major Kevin Jenrette, Sergeant First Class John Beal, Sergeant Jeffrey Jordan, and First Sergeant Blair are the 4 members of the 48th Infantry Brigade that have been killed in action so far in Afghanistan. And I would just, if everyone would say a prayer for their families, just remember their families, and help them get through what obviously is
Right.
one of the toughest times
And
of
then
their
we've been
lives.
joined by Crystal, Miss Lucy's buddy, Crystal. Crystal has been instrumental in making hats for the soldiers. And when Crystal was on last time, she's saying, we're going to have to bring her back, Lucy. We'll just plan a day with me and you and Crystal. We'll just do
That sounds great.
We want to encourage every single person in our viewing audience, choose a time. I choose 7:30 in the morning. It is just just before I start sliding out the door and getting things, I just stop and say, thank you, Lord, for everything you've given me. I've been so blessed. I swear sometimes I pinch myself and think, how in the world did I end up where I am with what I have,
I
and
like
how
that.
lucky could I be?
I like her hamburger. She makes good hamburgers.
Does she? Crystal? Yeah, you're so funny. We have another birthday, and then we're going to draw the birthday. We're going to actually let Crystal draw for us. Arble Kelly, 70 years old on July the 3rd. And here's the anniversary we did yesterday. Evelyn and Bob Blackstone, they are back from Florida, 61 years on July 2nd. Today is
bring
their
you a sub?
anniversary.
Did they bring you a
They
sub?
did not. Now, Crystal, I'm going to stir these up, sugar baby, because this bucket is full as a tick.
Oops.
Hang on.
That's another good Southernism.
That is a Southern saying.
A lot of ticks this
There
year.
you go. Okay, we're going to let Miss Crystal draw.
Okey-doke.
And we have
Just
to
pull
tell
one
you
of those out.
today's weather would be brought to you by Spivey's Body Shop
Just
for major
really
frame
dig
repairs located at 143 Sailors Drive in LJ. Stop by and see the nice people. Their phone number is 706-635-2811. We have a winner,
And the winner is.
and the winner is Will Ward, 15 years old. Happy
my
birthday.
nephew.
You will
This
get
is
a
really-
cake.
It's my nephew.
Is it your nephew? How funny is that? Right now, we're going to take a quick break and go to the weather and play some music, probably some music that I like, and then we're going to ask a trivia question when we come back. I encourage you to stop by the Blackberry Ridge Eatery tonight, spend some time visiting with us. We'll be there about an hour and a half or so. We want you to come out and get to know us. We love the idea that we come into your homes every day. Right now we're going to the weather.
When you found somebody new, I thought I never would forget you, for I thought then I never could. But time has taken all the pains away, until now I'm down to hurting once a day. Once a day. Once a day. All day long. And once a night. From dusk till dawn. The only time I wish you weren't gone is once a day, every day, all day long. I'm so glad that I'm not like a girl I knew one time. She lost the one she loved, then slowly lost her mind. She sat around and cried her life away. Lucky me, I'm only crying once a day.
Okay, we have a trivia question. I was going to ask something about Loretta Lynn and Coal Miner's Daughter, but we played a different song, so I'm going to ask another question. The lady who sang that song is married to a man much younger than her. He is known as Mrs. Somebody. He was 5 years old, watched her on TV, and said, I'm going to grow up and marry her. He truly did. Together, they are on the Grand Ole Opry about 2 times a month. They're an amazing, amazing talent, combining a lot of musical talent, but separately, they have their own careers. So if you can call me at 866-939-2329, you got it. Somebody already knew it. Connie Smith married Marty Stewart. He was a young child, and he said, I'm going to grow up and marry her. Guess what he did? He did.
Now his last name is Smewart.
No, now
Marty Stewart.
he's Mrs. Connie Smith. Okay, there's the winner. Now I have another question we were going to do. I want to know, we were going to play Loretta Lynn and Coal Miner's Daughter. And the question would be, who played Loretta Lynn in the wonderful, wonderful movie, Coal Miner's Daughter? She won Academy Awards for this. She was absolutely incredible. If you know the answer, please call me at 866-939-2329.
Kind of a homely
There's
looking
no
girl.
way I can thank you enough. There's no way, there's no words, but I'm going to encourage everybody, please do like I do. Every morning at 7:30, stop. If you do a moment of silence, whatever you want to do to say thank you to our American soldiers fighting for us, about us, and continuing to keep world peace. And please pray for world peace. It is so, so important. It's so, so important. And we wish you nothing but great things as you go back and you continue your job. And in January, February, we expect to see you sitting here on this couch again. Crystal, you'll be back in the near future because you and Miss Lucy are going to come back and we're going to spend a day together. Is that a cool dude? Can we do that?
She may have a new song to sing.
She may?
Like
Good.
an original.
Good. Well, y'all are going to hang around while Miss Hannah does the news, and I'm going to tell you the whole absolute truth about the jet skiing incident. It's a story you need to take back to Afghanistan. It will make soldiers laugh. It made me cry, but it will make soldiers laugh. So, Bill, thank you for being here today. We look forward to a wonderful holiday weekend. We encourage each and every one of you to do something with your family, do something with your friends. Say thank you to a U.S. soldier. If you happen to be out and about and you see a soldier, stop and buy their meal. Do something small to say thank you. Thank you, America. Thank you for the men and women who have served. We've got to go. From North Georgia Now Today, I'm Cherie Martin.
I'm Steve Martin.
He's Bill Siniard, and we'll see you tonight at the Blackberry Ridge Eatery in Fannin County. You be there, and we'll be there too. We will be here only on ETC 3, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 10 a.m., 6 to 7:30 p.m., and 12:30 to 2 a.m. You be here, and we'll be here too. But next week we get a new time schedule. Forgot about that. Late at night, we'll change the schedule.
Bye.
just can't get it through my head. You love another now instead. Can't make myself believe we're really through. I'm walking